Yes, today we are here to have a very vital conversation where we are standing at the crossroads of technology, trust, and national resilience. That is the topic that we are going to talk about, that how India can be a digital, can project itself as a digital economy that is resilient not only towards the cyber threats, but we prove to the world also that we are a great strategic nation where not only publicly, government alone, rather than technology and governance, they together work towards a secure digital future for India. So I have my panelists with me. So let us start with Yudhishthira, sir. And I would like to ask you, sir, in the post-Operation Sindoor environment, how has India's cyber threat landscape evolved, and what lessons have we learned regarding preparedness and coordination?
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Kumud ma'am. You see, Operation Sindoor was an eye-opener for us, and we witnessed a lot of things which we had not seen before. There were an unprecedented number of attacks on Indian entities, so many DDoS attacks, defacement attacks, and other types of attacks also. But frankly, we were not surprised, and thankfully we were somewhat prepared in dealing with what happened during Operation Sindoor. So I'd spoken about it earlier also, when this Russia-Ukraine conflict broke out, and it was not only a kinetic war and still going on, there was a huge amount of, significant amount of cyber dimension added to it also. And thankfully, in the government of India, CERT-In also, there was a lot of thinking going on. We were looking at the scenario that was unfolding in 2022 Feb onwards in Russia and Ukraine, and there was a lot of learning that went on, and that's what I'm saying. When the Operation Sindoor actually started, we could preempt something. In fact, we preempted a lot of things. During this Russia-Ukraine war, we witnessed that along with the kinetic dimensions, kinetic warfare, tactics such as attacks on the energy infrastructure, telecom infrastructure, that was undertaken. So we knew that such type of attacks would come. There we saw how deep fakes and misinformation was spread. There was some video of Mr. Zelensky surrendering and everything, and here also same thing happened. It may sound funny also, the farm fires in Jalandhar were shown as drone attacks, and an oil tanker explosion was shown as a missile attack in Gujarat port, and some deepfake videos of our senior CDS officers were also floated that X numbers of jets were down. So this all, we preempted everything, and we were in a much better position this time. And I'm happy to share that when this operation was going on, we were actually in the field, we were in the command center, we were witnessing how attacks are unfolding. But for the first time, we had a very coordinated effort. All the agencies were actively involved. The information that we got from various sources, that this was passed on to the relevant agencies and relevant organizations in the real time, so that whatever impact of DDoS attacks and everything, that was mitigated within a few moments. That sort of coordination was an important lesson learned for us for the first time. And I would say that before the Operation Sindoor, we would have those sporadic incidents like some incident in some organization, some ransomware attack and everything. This time we saw a lot of coordinated attacks. In fact, it was attacks not only coming from Pakistan, but other Bangladesh also, Middle East also, and some infra in Europe was also used. And all the radical groups, they came together and started firing shots on Indian websites. And it is a time we realized that who are our friends and who are our enemies. And, but yes, as I said, we were in a much better position this time. And going forward, given the lessons learned, so we need to replan what our cybersecurity posture should be. It should not only be defensive, but we need to be more resilient. We need to build our systems, and we need to invest in our indigenous solutions. And had we depended only on the foreign solutions, which usually are there in the cybersecurity domain, I would say would not have been able to perform that well. But we had already invested in certain partners, Indian partners. We used their solutions, and they were a game changer. But yes, definitely, if we need Rafale jets, if we need Tejas, but we also need Rafale jets. I'm not saying that we cannot completely do away with foreign products. Yes, but it is an opportunity for us to, as a strategic move forward, that we invest more into the Indian products. The government also starts using the Indian products. It should not be ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ये Indian है अच्छी quality का नहीं होना चाहिए. Yes, you see, there is a life cycle. A product cannot mature in a single day or some months. You need to give them some space. You need to give them some time. You need to give them some requirements, so that they improve and come up to a level where I think they can outdo the foreign products which have been in the market. So that strategy we need to go forward, and also we need to look more forward into how we can evolve cyber warfare. I think new fronts we have already seen. We need to protect our satellite infrastructure also, drones also. That type of things should also go. And I would like to say there's one more thing. The earlier presentation, Mr. Agrawal was saying about not only defensive. So he was saying something active and everything. So I think we need to adopt a very deterrent posture, that the enemy should think 5 or 10 times before attacking our infrastructure, our IT infrastructure. So that type of strategic thinking should go way forward. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. So basically, yes, what we are thinking is inching towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. That is the vision of our PM Modi. And the battlefield has certainly changed. It's no longer land, water, and air, but it's digital now. So the battlefield has really changed, and Pakistan is such a player at propagating false narratives that we have to deal with those narratives as well, along with actually making ourselves a data sovereign nation. So sir, Sandeep sir, I have a question for you. Why do you think digital sovereignty is important for oil and gas PSU that depends on global enterprise platforms?
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, any oil PSU has to compete internationally and nationally also. So you have to get the best of the breed software. But unfortunately, most of the software are not of Indian origin. It was not an issue earlier, but the recent development of one major software support being switched off for a known company, we all know about that. That actually brought this as a major risk to the main PSUs, major PSUs. So that was something which was never thought of, but it is now that it is there, it is real, it is very much real, and so it's a major risk for all of us.
Thank you, sir. I'll just like to give an example here. In July 2025 only, it's a very recent example where Naira Energy, which is an energy sector company, it's an Indian company, but because EU sanctions came, so Microsoft totally, closed down its operations for that particular organization, though they had all the documents in place. So that is when, it struck, and Zoho came into picture, where, they said that they can provide those enterprise platforms, because why should we be dependent on the technology outside when we are actually self-reliant, when we have those technologies which are even better here. So that is certainly a very good thing to ponder upon. Aishwarya sir, I have a question for you. How indigenous capabilities are assisting Indian Railways to secure the IT ecosystem, and how it can be improved further?
Good afternoon. 2 years ago, I am working in CRIS, so we were asked to set up a security operations center for Indian Railways. So all assets, whether it's endpoints or network devices placed across India, has to be integrated, and it has to be monitored 24/7. So while drafting out the requirement, we identified we need multiple solutions. Starting from the SIM, so UB, ADR, NDR, vulnerability management, patch, and a lot many. We were very apprehensive because there's a policy and guidelines from Ministry of IT that any cybersecurity product that we purchase, it has to be 60% make in India. Now with these guidelines, it will be very, very difficult to achieve or to complete this kind of project. But we floated a tender. Some of OEM we were aware of that they were making India. They will participate. Many of them I got to know during the pre-bid and during the next phases. So fortunately, at the end of the day, P was issued, and the value was around, say, more or less 350 crore. 80% of the solutions are make in India. So the indigenous capabilities has helped, because with having these guidelines that we have to purchase it from, say, make in India, we don't have any option, we are forced to. But at the end of the day, we have seen the, sunlight or light of the day. So those policies, those guidelines from the government of India has helped. Now, how we can improve it further? So this is a positive side. And on negative side, I'll say concern that we have raised, and officials from CERT-In also raised it. Not every solution will have the same kind of maturity. So you may have two different products from Make in India 100%. One may have intent to improve, one may have intent to go for the global. Others may not have it. How will you differentiate? The concerns with Make in India product is how will you integrate with the existing ecosystem? There are many platforms, many solutions we are already using it. They may not have exposed their APIs. They may not be able to integrate with some other products. So that is a cause of concern that we have to take it up. Another point is we don't have any classification level. If there are 5 companies who is working in this domain, cybersecurity, and all of them are Make in India, so we treat them equally. There is no classification, there is no rating, there is no maturity defined by any of the, regulatory or any other enterprise. So what can be done? So as an organization, if I'm adopting a product, I have to decide very clearly whether I want to work as a product manager. I'm going to improve add the features to assist them in the development of the solutions, or whether I have to use the solutions to improve my security posture. That is a call that as an organization, we have to take it up. So these are some inputs that I think that we have to take it up. Classification of the Make in India, defining the maturity level, making it at an enterprise grade, and then pushing it to all the enterprises to go for it. So that is the only concern that we have and many of us have faced it as far as this local product or Make in India solutions are concerned.
Sure.
Taking cue from him, I just want to, what we have thought of as a solution, because as you said, the enterprise solutions are really big, and it's difficult actually to go for an Indian solution right now in many of the solutions. I don't want to name the solutions, we all know about it. So I've just thought of, maybe we can discuss these 5 S solutions, right? They are very easy to implement, but there will certainly be a way forward. The first one is secure contracts. Like if you have a contract with any service provider, then you have to have a clause of data repatriation inbuilt in this, and escrow. Like normally what happens is if the services ends abruptly, so in that case it will not end. He's forced to give us back on our on-prem data center, the services and data. So that is something we should inbuilt in case of any this service provider. Plus, if you have an application which is not an COTS application, but it is grown by somebody, then you have to have an escrow software. Service has to be given to by some government authorized NIC and all. And second is, again, it's a sovereign infrastructure, 5S. Second is this. So actually, lately, this on-prem fashion has gone. Like now, everything has to move in cloud. All the solutions we are getting in cloud, right? We have to depend on maybe Meti cloud, but I still feel that you have to have an on-prem presence there. So that is something to think of. And certainly, yes, government cloud and PSU cloud will at least make sure that you have your data with you. Third is strategic policy compliance. If we are able to abide by the compliances, this policy which is there with the government of India, then many of the things will be taken care of. The fourth one, which is the most important, which we are discussing on, is self-reliant development. That's where the product comes into picture. We are a very good service economy. We are providing services to, I don't know, many countries, many companies from here, but we don't have a major product here which can compete internationally or commercially viable. Because as you said, product requires a lot of maturity, reliability, and 5 to 6, maybe 10 years down the line, what it has to perform. All these things are inbuilt in the product. There, all these people here, sitting here, the private and government and big Indian players, they have to come in. They have to help startup to fund it. Funding is really required because ultimately it has to become commercially viable as well as commercially competitive. Then only it will be used. Lately, we have seen one of the product coming into picture and getting deployed. But whether it will be deployed in the next 5 or 10 years, that's again a question. And last one is strong oversight. The board members of any PSU has to have a dashboard of sovereignty dashboard. Like every board meeting, they will think how much we have moved towards digital sovereignty. So these are the 4 things which I thought would help us. That's all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your insights. हम लोग अभी we are talking bigger things, but just recently, 2 days back, Rajkot में their a maternity hospital, वहाँ से CCTV footage leak हो जाता है, and it goes to YouTube, it goes to Telegram channels, and it is being sold there. So, I mean, we are talking about very, very small things because again, just the CCTV company, though they are providing their products to a government organization, but as a government organization, we also have to be careful. What had happened was, while installing those CCTVs, the password was still admin123. And the hackers, I mean, they had a treat. And this has been, it has been revealed 2 days before, but it was happening for the past 1 year. And almost 50,000 clippings are now all over the internet. So, we have to have, as Sir mentioned, there have to be strong policy measures to ensure the implementation, to ensure the compliance as well. Thank you so much, sir. Santosh, sir, I have a question for you. How do you think the cyber attacks impact the power sector?
Yeah, basically when you attack a power sector, if you quantify that impact, it will be more on the other sectors, like you are using cell phones, you are doing some operations like airport operation, hospital operations, hotel operations. So overall impact when you attack power sector is too large. A few years back, it was not that thing because we were doing a very simple thing like delivering the electricity and the meter reader was at your doorstep and you are checking the reading and you are quantifying. But nowadays what's happening, we have added an communication layer on the electricity layer. So it's not like old EPS, basically electric power system. It is basically digitalization, or we can say it's a cyber physical world. Attack can come from anywhere. Means there are a lot of nodes like say end consumers, and when we are adding communication channels on the electricity layer, then vulnerability increases. Lot of new actors like renewable energy, energy storage, and all ADMS system, AMI system, everything is now getting threaded with the electricity. So we have to doubt everybody in this atmosphere. Cyber attack doesn't have any nationality also. It can be done from anywhere. And normally what happens, there are three layers basically, OT, IT, and communication layer. So normally there is a model called cyber kill chain model. I think many of you might be aware of that. So you need to kill the hacker at every stage of that particular cyber kill chain model. Basically, it is having 7 steps basically. And first is reconnaissance, where your sensitive information is being collected. Second is weaponization, where you create the malicious payload. Third is delivery, where the target, where the victim is targeted through phishing mails and corrupt files. Then starts exploitation, basically, what are the vulnerabilities in your system. And then execution, where the hacker runs the malicious software, and then control of target, and finally command that causes damages. So at each and every step, you have to be very vigilant about that. You might have heard of Stuxnet attack recently. Basically, it was planned in 2003 roundabout, and that was a state-sponsored attack. It was supposed to that, right? So USA and Israel has attacked Iran nuclear facility. In that case, and it was uncovered or discovered in 2010. So basically, it's like you have to be very, you have to be available in the network for a longer time, because normally, whenever any ethical hacker or say hacker with some commercial inputs, it's very difficult to attack a system unless and until it's a state-sponsored attack. And basically, whenever these hackers are sponsored by a state, then only ultimate damage might happen to the power sector. So we have to be very vigilant about each and every aspect. And for doing this, we need to know our stakeholders as well. As ma'am told that we need to watch each and every stakeholder, their policies, what policies they are doing, and we have to sign NDAs, SLAs, everything, and CIA also. So as Dr. Yudhishthira mentioned, that resiliency is very important, right? Resiliency in power sector is very important because, okay, system might go due to electrical parameters, but due to cyber also. So you need to recover back the system because it will impact the entire gamut of the operation in any country or some part of the country. Because if you disturb the cyber parameters or say IT parameters, ultimately it will impact the voltage and frequency of the electrical parameter, and that can result in cascading and blackouts and brownouts basically. So we need to take care of all those things. So it's very difficult and it is very dangerous if a state-sponsored attack happens on power sector.
Thank you very much, sir. And I think with the AI coming into picture, the threats are becoming even more scarier, right?
Yes, so definitely, ma'am. When AI comes in picture, again, there is 2 types of intelligence, human intelligence and open source intelligence. Both act simultaneously, so it's very difficult because you never know who is the culprit.
Right. So, Suvam sir, what steps do you think we should take to build indigenous cybersecurity tools and platforms?
Good afternoon, all. So, yeah, all my panelists talked about having an indigenous solution and it's the need of hour. So, from a kind of telecom R&D center organization, so I just want to clarify a bit of things. So, post this geopolitical situation, now this data and digital infrastructure, they have become the new geopolitical assets of the country. So, cyber Atmanirbharta has become the need of the hour. So, for us, cyber Atmanirbharta is not about just data localization, having data on premise. It's more than that. It's like India having the decision autonomy of who is controlling the digital infrastructure, who is controlling the digital infrastructure technology stack. It's having a kind of independent, trusted cyber supply chain that we're all talking of. And in this, so we need to have cyber sovereignty, and cyber sovereignty by design. It's not by sovereignty by restriction. So yes, in C. We do believe in a few pillars that we believe in having it. So first is like having architectural sovereignty, having indigenous cybersecurity solutions. You may use, you may go for open standards, but go for sovereign implementation, make it interoperable, and do it for legacy system that is very specific to Indian domain. To give a few examples, in our organization, we have a unified enterprise security solution. We have Sambat, which is WhatsApp equivalent. We have quantum-based communication systems. And all these were used very extensively during the geopolitical tensions that were happening, and were very critical in helping out the bureaucrats and all. So secondly, that I want to highlight is for having a culture of proactive risk-driven security rather than reactive compliance-based security. Because most of us see security as the last check that needs to be done, but that's wrong. We need to have a secure by design kind of principle, design by privacy, SBOM maintenance, and all the stuffs. Third, very important, we need to have collaborative multi-stakeholder approach. There can be partnerships between R&D organizations, PSUs, academia, all those. We need to give platforms to startups because they are into very deep tech development. But we, as a government organization, we need to give them the playground to play for, to test their solutions. So to keep it short, like security and innovations, these two are very two pillars that we are focusing on right now. They are not, contradictory, rather, they are going to complement each other when architected, goodly. So to conclude, India needs to have a digital infrastructure so much robust enough that innovation can happen fearlessly. We need to have a ecosystem that is open enough to innovate, secure enough to protect yourself, and indigenous enough to sustain. Thank you.
So again, we are actually emphasizing on public policy, public-private partnership and collaboration. That's what you are trying to say, right? Sujoy sir, just to furtherize the thing that Suvam sir mentioned. How do you think we are becoming increased? Why is it? Why? And how do you think we are going to have those policies in place to ensure data sovereignty?
Good afternoon, everyone. When you see today's world, it's a digitally connected, and people are adopting a lot of global SaaS-based solutions, where data is the most important thing, and knowingly, unknowingly, data is getting shared. So this data sovereignty, I'll not say data sovereignty, digital sovereignty is very crucial for our nation's security, for our economic stability, for our citizen privacy, data privacy. If you have, so in my view, this policy should be in place, and that is definitely going to help in terms of data protection of our citizen data, so that it should not be misused by any foreign entity. Secondly, national security, when a lot of people talked about after Operation Sindoor and before that also, national security is the paramount thing, where you have to secure your government infrastructure, your defense infrastructure, healthcare, etc., so that there should not be any interference by any foreign entity for doing wrong things towards our nation. Third, another important thing is the digital autonomy. If you have a policy of digital sovereignty, digital autonomy is going to help to take decisions faster, and further it's going to enhance the nation outlook in the global arena. And apart from that, if you have all these things and your policies in place, it'll help you to become a global leader, where you are improving your economy, where you have a secured, you're securing your data, your innovations and everything is intact. There is no leak. Whatever roadmap you have in the innovation side. Overall, I'll summarize that it's a need of hour. We need to have a digital sovereignty policy in place to safeguard our nation.
Thanks, sir. So as they say, data is not just the new oil, it is actually new oxygen. So, so that is how we have to actually take care of it. Rajat, sir, from a legal perspective, what do you think, what are your views on how to secure or enforce digital sovereignty?
Sure. I'd actually kind of break up cyber sovereignty into a few different areas. It has to pertain to data. It has to pertain to the people that we are kind of applying this for, which is the citizens of the country and anybody who chooses to operate within the confines of our country. And then it is the infrastructure and the platform. And by infrastructure, I think my panelists have already kind of covered the aspect, whether you think of public sector, whether you think of national infrastructure, whether it be critical infrastructure like power or financial services or utilities. All of this is critical to the operations of our country. So if you were to think of the country as one entity and think of what are all of the things that need to happen within it to really secure it, that's where cyber sovereignty comes into place. And when we think of the legal aspect, it's what are the policies, what are the laws of the land when it comes to securing this infrastructure. So if we think of something very basic that impacts, say, you and me as citizens, something like cybercrime. There was a time when cybercrime was limited to a handful of instances. It impacted only specific people, and the scale of operations was fairly limited. Today, there isn't a single day that goes by that we don't read about somebody who was defrauded, somebody that was scammed, and this is across strata. It isn't just a specific segment of society or economic strata that is getting impacted. It is everybody, right? So when we think of sovereignty and the legal laws that come into place, we need to think of how are we securing this digital infrastructure. Make in India is one of the major components to this. And the reason for that is we have a higher trust on something that is built for us and serves the intent of the nation and not somebody else. If there is any sort of infrastructure today, say in telecom or in any sort of other critical services like power, which is owned by a foreign entity, we do not know when that entity will be forced to take a decision that suits its political masters and not our nation, right? So in that context, laws, the legal framework becomes very, very critical. And that's what I would say is most important for us, whether it be in terms of cross-border investigations to fight terrorism or to fight cybercrime, whether it be infrastructure requirements. I think my panelists already addressed that. We need those specifications so that when we are evaluating, say, any solution, whether it be made in India or otherwise, we understand what are the minimum requirements. So there is an opportunity for us to grade and understand this is where that product is, this is what that capability is, this is how it delivers to the nation's requirement. I'll pause there.
Thank you very much. Billion people connected over internet and $1 trillion digital economy. So that's what we are talking about, that's the security that we need to provide. So you, sir, being from a private organization, what are your views, about how the policies of government can, help you as an organization? Or what are your views for how the government policies and your partnership with the government should be?
Good afternoon all. So as per the current scenarios, what my experience is, So many sectors are using different, the private sector using a different policy segmentation frameworks. If we have a single framework, single policies to implement on the organization, it will help to connect each other to get the data, provide the best solution for this. Suppose you are handling a BFSI infra. For the BFSI, they are having a GDPR, different policy and frameworks are. But if we have a central government made by the policy, if we have single framework, that can be really help us to reduce the risk and reduce the multiple different types of attacks in the organizations. These are the major.
Okay, thank you. Probably in the interest of time, I would just like to take one single line remarks and closing ones on how we should enable India's cyber future. That's our topic. So just one line or maybe two from each one of you to say that what exactly is your takeaway and what exactly is that one point that you think is important for India to concentrate on. Sir.
Yeah, I would say India is having a very bright future, and we're definitely going to be very cyber secure. My one-liner or one thing that I would like to say that certain day and out comes with certain guidelines, directions, and there is a lot of resistance. I would say, please don't fear about it. It is in our interest. It is a bitter pill that we'll have to take for a healthy future. So we're creating these guidelines and directions to ensure that we have a very cyber secure ecosystem in the country which flourishes and protects our interests in the long run. Thank you.
So basically, we should not be cribbing कि यार government मेरी privacy hurt कर रही है. You know, आपका सारा data Facebook पे है, Insta पे है, आपके digital footprints हर जगह हैं. बट सरकार मेरे डेटा को नहीं देख सकती, सरकार को मुझे प्राइवेसी देनी है. So that is, we have to contribute as a citizen. We also have to be a part of government's initiatives. That's your key point that I'm taking. Sir, yours.
Yeah. We missed the bus in the enterprise software, but we should not miss the bus or the car in cybersecurity solutions, because it will be young industry and there are many players who have actually come out with world-class products. So I think a lot of potential is there for really producing world-class products in cybersecurity. I don't want to go in the details of various verticals, but yes, here we should actually give solutions which are worldwide accepted and commercially viable. And we see a lot of potential here.
So Indian developed, made in India products, right? Okay. So, yours. And, yeah, okay.
As I said, so the product should be made in India, no doubt about it. We need these capabilities, but it should be made for the global. The startup or the organization should have an intent to serve the nation. That is only from my side.
Actually, read, understand, follow, and if you find any errors, then give inputs. I'm talking about the guidelines. So whichever guidelines are being given to you, you have to follow, you should follow. And there is one famous line from CERT-In guidelines. They are ensuring open, safe, trusted, and accountable internet for every user. So we need to take the gist of these lines basically. So you need to again add the integrity and that, and just follow it. Following is very simple, so that will save our nation.
So the organizations need to follow the guidelines, or as an individual also we need to follow the guidelines?
Basically,
and the government also needs to follow the guidelines.
Yes, everybody, because we have agencies like NCIPC also, CERT-In also, CSIRT, Power also. So there are a lot of guidelines government is always giving to each and every specific sector. It's just you can follow that, because everybody is having a rebellion in themselves. So we need to just follow, and before rebelling, just understand the guidelines.
And who makes the guidelines?
We all. Because
so
recently you might be aware of that, CA has circulated draft cyber security guidelines, and it is an open forum. if you want to give any inputs, they will take care of those inputs. So all stakeholders are invited, whether private person, individual, advocate, everybody from the sector, from outside sector, everybody can give the inputs. They are well taken from the government.
That's a very good point, actually. So basically, we have a platform where everyone can contribute and have those policies made according to them. So thank you, sir. That's a very nice point.
Thank you.
Yours, sir.
For me, the one-liner would be like to propel a cyber ecosystem for the backbone of India from chip to cloud that is reliable, trusted, indigenous, and globally competitive.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Time is up.
I know. So we'll run fast.
Adding to what fellow panelists said, there should be thrust on cyber security awareness program. Currently there are, but very little, like sharing PIN number and OTP, etc. There should be more thrust on do's and don'ts on cyber security, which can help to move from zero trust to digital trust.
A very good point. I just want to mention here that we as a private person, we are running a cyber crime ki dunya. This comes on DD National, I am the executive producer of that particular show, and it comes on DD National. So it is a perfect example of private and government partnership, where the government is taking the initiative and we are providing them the content for that cyber awareness. The program comes every day, Monday to Thursday at 10 p.m. on DD National. And millions of people, millions of homes, those cyber awareness campaigns are going. And it's not a campaign, we have made it into a very crime patrol kind of thing. So where, we have a crime happening, and then that crime, that cyber crime is being solved. And so there are very good tips and tricks how, enforcement agencies can work towards solving those crimes as well. So the government is certainly taking so many initiatives, and we are there to support them. So your remarks.
Sure. I would say that our adversaries today are doing a fabulous job of learning from each other, leveraging the work that they're doing off of each other. We as a community, as professionals, whether we be in the industry, in academia, in the public sector or the government, we need to come together. We need to share information. We need to share intelligence so that we can also learn from each other and not be, reinventing the wheel every time.
Thank you. So yours.
As of now, we are living in a digital world, so we don't have a choice to live without any digital products. So while using any products, to make sure how to use that product, how to use that application, what access we are giving, that depends on the application, where the data is going. That should be monitored. That before using, that you need to check what is the basic guideline for that. So it will show, it will protect your PI data. Suppose you are downloading an application from any third party to the third party place. So what access we are giving? We are giving a PI data, like you are giving access to gallery, you are giving access to contacts. That data will you used sometime against you. So that is very important to that application, your data where is going. So before downloading that application, any third party source tool, so you need to check your data is where the data is going.
Yeah. So basically, all your clients, all your customers should also be aware that
Correct.
Thank you. Yeah. So thank you so much. Thanks everyone for this beautiful conversation, a very vital one, and thanks for making it engaging.